Welcome to Toffee TV. We've just seen Ronald Koeman's press conference, his first press conference as the Everton manager. Just thought we'd come on, give an instant reaction, some thoughts, some feelings to what he just said. Basically, first question he said was, how did it happen? How did it, how did it happen? How were you taken away from Southampton? He basically just said he sat down with Southampton. It wasn't really, I don't know, they never really came to agreeing on terms. He knew Everton were interested, spoke to Everton, and the rest is history. Never really went into too much detail, never really gave a straight answer as such. I don't think he really wanted to focus on that. He kept on saying he just wants to think about the future and not worry about the past. So from that point of view, good stuff. That's what we want. That's what we want to hear. Just some of the quotes. He said, "I am very pleased to be part of the great project. I'm excited to be here. It is important to show ambition to win. Everybody at the club is ready to take the next step. Everyone is hungry. The people at the club and the fans to put Everton back to where we were. We want to keep our best players." He said as well. He said, "I will be having meetings with the players. We'll see what happens." He was basically asked, had he spoke to any of the players yet? John Stones, Romelu Lukaku, Ross Barkley. He basically said no. He was also asked, could he give any assurance to the fans that they will 100% keep them? And he just basically said, well, not really. No, he said, I'll have to sit down with them first. He said, I'll do everything I can. They're all under contract. I'll do everything I can to keep them. But we need to speak to them soon. He just said, he was asked the question again about Romelu Lukaku, and he just basically said, I haven't spoke to him yet, but we'll sit down and we'll see what's what, which is really important. It's really important that he gets a chance to sit down with the players, go through his philosophy, go through who he wants to sign, and then we'll see. If these players still have a feeling they want to go, then that's up to the club to see what they want to do, whether they want to keep them with them being under contract, or like they did with John Stones last season, or whether they feel it'd be better to let them go and look at bringing new players in. But let's be honest, Ronald Koeman the last couple of summers at Southampton has had to let some of his best players go and done an amazing job. At the end of the day, I think he doesn't want to lose them, but I'm sure he knows the situation before he's come in of what he's facing. For some of those players, the likes of, all of the players he's never worked with before, so it is going to be a loss, but it's not going to be a loss, if that makes sense, because he's never worked with them. He has to just work out how much, I suppose, of an issue it is by if he sells them or if he keeps them. Obviously, we don't want to keep Romelu Lukaku, the goals he scored, but at the same time, we've got to weigh up that balance of thinking, is he going to be too much of a problem? Is he going to cause too much of a fuss? Is it going to become too much of a circus? If I sell him early on, I can bring in a really good replacement. If it drags on through summer like we've seen before, you don't have time to make replacements. He's got to weigh all that up, so we'll see where that leads us. Before the press conference, it was announced that fitness coach Jan Klutenberg will be coming in, and obviously Aaron Koeman, who's his brother and his assistant manager, so they're in. He said, Koeman said, we need to first see what we have here in the academy. After we will know what we need to bring in. That's in relation to signing players, I think. So that's important that he does have a look at the academy. Which is, we've seen at the end of last season, there's some really top talent coming through, and don't want to see those lads wasted. So, and that also helps the fact that he's also said that he would be keeping Duncan Ferguson and David Unsworth at the club, which again, massive step. Could you imagine in his first press conference he said, I'm sacking Duncan Ferguson? Not sure that would go down too well with the fans. So I think that's really important, that they just keep on carrying on doing what they do at the club. I think that's a really good link from the past to the future, and also to the fans. The fans want these people around. David Unsworth's doing a fantastic job with the under-21, so I think it's really important. And David Unsworth can be there telling them about the academy, saying this lad's ready to go into the first team squad this summer, or that lad's ready next season. And Duncan Ferguson's there to be, I suppose, the players I'm sure love him as well, and he can be there to be the not the go-between as such, but he links the past to the future and keeps that familiarity with the players, which is really important as well. And maybe you can speak to the manager and say, right, well, this is what we were doing last season. This worked, this didn't work. I mean, I'm sure Duncan Ferguson knows more than anyone what was working or what wasn't working last season at the club. So that's a really important thing. On him himself, Bill Kenwright said that Ronald Koeman made an impression before we met him. Farhad and I sat down with Ronald, and Ronald was always the first choice of the board. Bill Kenwright was there at the press conference. A lot of people asking, why Moshiri wasn't there. I think basically Bill Kenwright is now and has been for a while. He's the mouthpiece, isn't he, of the club? So I think Moshiri likes being in the background. I think he likes being in the shadows. Some kind of Bond villain. Please don't turn out to be a Bond villain, Mr. Moshiri, please. I think he likes being out the limelight, where Bill, let's be honest, Bill loves the limelight. Bill absolutely loves the limelight. Bill Kenwright was there saying it was a sad day when we had to sack. He didn't even use the word sack. Let Roberto go. And he said, but he was our first choice. And he basically said that he thought that he'd never seen more universal choice as a manager from the fans. He said it's brought, he feels like the fans are all together on this one. I think they are now, yeah, 100%. So it was all positive, obviously all positive as you imagine for his first press conference. The reaction to that was Ronald Koeman said, it's nice to hear the fans wanted me, makes my first days that bit more comfortable, it's like a family here, that's nice. Then he said, we're keeping Duncan Ferguson and David Unsworth at the club because they have so much experience at Everton. He said, this is a nice quote, he said, I know the fans wake up wearing blue and go to sleep wearing blue. It is up to us to make them happy. Which is a nice little quote, isn't it? I didn't actually say that in the press conference, I don't think. I think he must have said that afterwards. Listen, there's going to be more coming out of this, because that was the main press conference, but you're going to get loads of side press conferences now with the journalists do one-on-ones with them and ask one-on-one questions, and the radio does. So there'll be lots more coming out of this press conference, which I'm sure Baz will touch on in the News Daily later. I think the first impressions is the man just is a straightforward talker. He wants to win football matches. He's not asked about styles. Listen, I'm sure his football will be good, but when we want to go long, we'll go long if it means winning a game of football. So from that point of view, that's good as well. He was asked about Southampton actually. He said, would he go back for any of the players? And he just went, that's a little bit difficult, but I like some players there. So we'll have to wait and see on that. It's going to be an interesting next few weeks. Obviously, get the rest of the staff sorted out. Goalkeeping coach, that kind of thing. And then get on with it. He's got a few weeks now to get all his planning in place for the pre-season and what he wants to do and the plays he wants to do. So he said basically this was his first day in the job. Not quite sure that's true, but this is his first day in the job. His first day at Finch Farm. I mean, anyone who's seen Everton's Periscope of him coming in the jet, brilliant. Like Ocean's 11, that. Coming in on the jet, Liverpool Airport, straight into the bus to Finch Farm. Brilliant stuff, really. Really good way to set up his first day at Finch Farm. So I think we're all positive. I think we're all looking forward to the future. I know we were all, this is probably where we were 3 years ago when we got Roberto Martinez, but I think the difference is now is we're bringing a name in. A name who's done it in football and has done it to a degree in management as well, and has been doing it in the last 2 years in the Premier League with Southampton. So I think we're all positive. I think we're all looking forward to it. He touched on, he didn't really go into it, but he did say there's resources, which is great. Obviously, that's good. It's good to have a bit of money. And everything just seems to be looking up. We all seen the pictures of Goodison yesterday, and the little makeover it's going to get, and we mentioned that on the News Daily. And little things like that, imagine coming back to the new season and we've got a new manager, new players. Goodison looks amazing, whatever you think about it, it'll look amazing and everything will feel fresh and new. Whereas, when you come back to a new season, everything feels the same. Go back last summer, go back to when we played Watford, and I remember walking out the game against Watford and thinking, absolutely nothing has changed. Nothing has changed at this football club. Whereas this summer, it feels like everything's changing. And, Listen, I'm not saying, it's a dead exciting when you change everything. No, what I'm saying is we really, really need a change in Everton Football Club, and it looks like it's finally arrived. It looks like the owner is putting his stamp on things. There's a new manager. There's going to be new players, and hopefully everyone hates us. Hopefully, that's what I'm taking from this experience, that everyone hates us, which will be fantastic if they do, because that's exactly what I want. So tell us what you think about in the comments about Ronald Koeman, his press conference and what he had to say. I'm sure Baz will be talking more about this later. Are you excited? Are you as excited as I am about the new coming season? Just want it to be here now. Get rid of these Euros, not asked. Want this now, want the season to start, want players holding the shirt. That's what we want. Like that. Oh, what about that? Yes. Just holding the shirt. Like that. Yes. By a tree or something at a Finch Farm. So tell us what you think in the comments. And thanks for watching. I'll see you later.